Hey, good morning. I just feel the need to jump on and just help lead some of you guys into an encounter. I truly, honestly desire that every person that sees this video is able to do this encounter exercise with Father God today. How many of you are feeling so overwhelmed by what's going on in the world, the purification process that's happening in your own heart right now, everything that's going around in the atmosphere, in the natural, on all sorts of different levels? How many of you are feeling super overwhelmed personally? How many of you are feeling really overwhelmed with your children? How many of you are feeling like, wow, that could happen to my children, or I have to keep my children safe from this, or it's almost like this thing that's happening right now with parents is there's such a overextension of functioning, trying to keep your children safe. And I'm seeing this as a watchman in families. I'm seeing this all over the place. That moms specifically are wearing themselves out and are wearing themselves into a pretty dark pit because they're trying so hard to keep their kids safe. And I first just want to say thank you so much for being intentional. Thank you so much for seeing and feeling that there's stuff going on and around you and seeing the need for your children to be safer. And thank you so much for jumping into that place of being protectors of your children. I feel like there's part of that needs to be blessed. But I want to share with you that you did not knit that child together, that God did. That it is not that this is your child and you are trying to lead them to God. This is God's child. He knit them together and He handed them to you to steward for their time on earth. And I just want to encourage you right now to realign your rightful position with your child. That it is not the weight that is supposed to be all on your back. That some of this needs to be transferred back to God. You can keep your kids safe in a lot of ways in the natural and on earth, but there are some areas, there are some ways that only the creator of the universe can actually move on behalf of our children. And I sometimes we just need to get out of the way. And we need to make sure that we are not trying to take on God's role. And we need to hand that place back to Him. So I just want to lead you into an encounter right now. I just encourage you. I've done this last night on my Zoom calls with parents. And so I just felt led to do it corporately. So I just encourage you just to put your hands out like this. There's nothing spiritual about this. It's just kind of a prophetic act. And I just encourage you, you can even stop the video, but I just encourage you to put in your hands your children. I would go slow and I would intentionally say their first, middle, and last name. I would think of every child that you are putting in your hands. And when you have them in your hands, I just encourage you, this isn't just children. This is a part of your heart. That these babies came from your flesh. They came from your body. That there's nothing more core to a woman than her children. And so I just encourage you to put your children in your hands, not like this, not holding on with one finger, but completely surrendered. And I just encourage you to have an encounter with the Father as one by one you lift up the first, middle, and last name of your beloved children and you lift them up to Father God. And what you're saying is, this is a part of my heart. And I surrender them to you because you ultimately are the only one that can fully keep them safe, can lead them, can draw them to you, can guide them, can steer them in the right direction, can minister to their heart, can warn them, can speak secrets to them. And I just feel like moms, especially, that we are taking on too much and we are robbing ourselves of the security and the safety that comes when we know that Father God is still in control, that Jesus is still walking in peace. And we usher our children into that place. And I feel like it frees us up as moms to be the nurturer and the comforter and the teacher with our children. That there has got to be a greater partnership with Father God in keeping our children safe. And so I just encourage you as you're hearing this message, do that exercise, have that encounter with Father God of surrendering your children back to Him because they are ultimately His. All right, be blessed.